Well, it's snowing. Just returning from my first day of class. It is currently snowing. I stopped by the grocery store. Very cozy to go grocery shopping while it's snowing out, I have to say. Just got in from the snow. As you can see, wow, my beanie is wet. Okay, time to take off these wet clothes and then dry off. I just got back from my first day of class and I was feeling very nervous this morning. Last night I was not feeling well. I think I got overexposed last night and also like again walked another 6.5 miles and my body was not feeling good at all. So I had a bit of a stressful, weird evening and was feeling pretty nervous just about like my physical strength today, but made it to class and got a little bit confused about how to get into the building, but I asked for help and made my way to the classroom and yeah, and I think it was great. I mean, we're probably like people, maybe 35 would be my guess, 40. So it's like a sizable enough class that there's like a good amount of people in there, but it's not so huge that it's like impersonal. Since this was the first class, we like went around, everybody introduced themselves and said where they're from and why they're taking this class or what their background is basically. And there's so many cool people in this class. I'm so excited and I feel like this was a really good decision to take this class specifically. There's people from all over, people from the Netherlands, people from France, people from Italy, people from Sweden, people from Australia, a couple people from the US, or like US via other European cities, and someone from Singapore, someone from Korea. It feels like a really good mix of people and a good mix of interests. There are lots of people who have worked in or around theater, people who want to be dramaturgs, people who, I think I already said this, people who are actors, working actors, or who have acting experience, dance people. So lots of people in related fields. And it feels like someone even said in the class, like, oh, part of the reason I'm taking this is like I'm hoping to meet collaborators or something. So it feels really exciting because it actually feels like a lot of the people in that class are like open and curious to meeting new people and making work potentially together. That is great. And I befriended this girl who was sitting next to me. Yeah, it was just so fun to be in a new class. I feel like this is what I was kind of waiting for, to see like what it actually feels like. And then after class, so class is 3 hours long, and it's like we do like 3 45-minute long sections with 2 breaks in between, which is nice because it was like people had the chance to kind of get up and talk to each other and chit chat and stuff like that and go grab a coffee and what have you. And the professor is really sweet too and was like, you know, on our first break, like everybody go like ask someone to get a coffee or whatever. It was really cute that she's like encouraging people to kind of make friends. And then we'll also be working in groups. So I kind of strategically like chose a group of people that had it, people that I thought were interesting in it, and people who I wasn't like sitting next to this time, just so I'll get to switch it up a little bit and, you know, mix and mingle. But after class, then the girl that I befriended and she was saying like, oh, I'm gonna go to the library, and I was like, oh, I need to go there too. I need to just like kind of get a lay of the land and check it out. And we walked outside and it was snowing, which was so beautiful and like picturesque and kind of fun. I don't know, I've never really been in like active snowfall like that before. So that was a fun treat. And then we were just kind of like poking around, exploring some different buildings. So we went to the bookstore and just like, you know, flipped through books and touched a bunch of fun pens and notebooks and such. And then after that, we made our way to the library and kind of got a lay of the land. And then there's a cafe at the bottom of the library. And we got some soup and just like chatted for a good long while, like maybe an hour and a half or something. So that was super nice. And like she was walking around being like, wow, this is so exciting. Like it's like a real college or whatever. And I was also kind of like, wow, this is so exciting. Like it's a real college. I don't know. It has been a while since I've been back on a campus, and I don't know totally how I feel vis-a-vis like going back to study in a real way, but it does feel like there's something possible there. It's so fun to meet new people and fun to take a class and fun to be back in that environment and stuff. And I guess it is like a little bit surreal just in that like when I got accepted to this course, there was an email that was like, get your student card set up and this and that. And it was sort of hard to grasp that I was really like gonna get to go to a new school. But when I took the elevator up from the metro station to it's like the campus stop, when I took the elevator up, it was like kind of sweet or not the elevator, the escalator, it's just like all these students pouring up to the campus. So yeah, I don't know. It feels fun and we'll see where this goes. I feel like it's a rich opportunity and I'm excited that I get to do it, and I feel like gratified that I followed my instincts, I think. And I'm gratified to be here. Also, last night, or yesterday afternoon, I wanted to take my reading to Crumb Heaven, which is like my favorite cafe in the whole city. I love that place so much. So I took my reading to Crumb Heaven. I was listening to really good music as like the sun was going down. And then around like 3 or so, I left and I wanted to go to Gamla Stan to like see if I could find a ring. I just had the idea like, oh, maybe I'll just go to check out a couple of vintage stores over there and see what they have. And I ended up popping into a few places, but also I just ended up like walking around Gamla Stan. And at that point it was, dark and very wintry, but I feel like it was so beautiful. And there's a scene in my novel that is set at this bistro called Pastis in Gamla Stan, and it was just like really surreal to get to walk around that area now for the first time since having written this novel and that scene, and kind of see it as it would be at that time in the novel. And I felt so privileged. Like I just felt like I'm so lucky that I get to be here doing this, like kind of doing this like novel research and doing school. But at that moment it was novel research. Just like I am so lucky to get to be here. And also I feel like, Gamla Stan is cool and it's beautiful in the summer, but nothing compares to it in the winter. It's just incredible. And then I walked off of Gamla Stan towards like Kungsträdgården and then turned around, went back to Gamla Stan, got way too tired and way too cold and felt really poor and ill when I returned. But walking around in Gamla Stan before I felt ill was very wonderful. And it's hard because it's like every day I get these little glimmers of beauty and wonder, and then at the same time it's like, trudging through slush and buying my groceries and this and that. But even today at the grocery store, seeing through the window the snow as I cozily picked out my groceries, I just was like, wow, this is really special, and I feel very grateful. So that's that. Now I'm sitting down in my in these apartments cozy living room. It's my first day back off of PTO, so now I'm gonna do my job and catch up on what I've missed. And then I have a couple of meetings later this evening in a few hours, so yeah. But I have the curtain open and the lamps lit, and I'm watching the snow blow in, and that's awesome, and I feel very grateful. Also, while I was at the grocery store, they had this big old jug of little Oatly chocolate milks, and so sue me, I took the bait. So now I'm gonna try it. And it honestly, it's totally possible that this will be bad, but I just love a little chocolate milk treat. Paper straw. Slight bummer, but that's okay. It's definitely oaty, but it's not bad. You can drink this. And I shall. Det är minusgrader ute. Jag är förkyld. Jag har precis varit på Coop och handlade lite toapapper och sådana grejer. Det snöar lite grann. Is på gatan. Och ja, jag mår lite skit. Jag låg hela dagen på soffan igår. Men idag mår jag lite bättre i alla fall. Ja, och mitt jetlag har varit så jävla konstigt. Jag har inte haft typ en enda natt av normal sov i en hel vecka. Och det känns... Ja, det blir lite mycket nu. Så jag hoppas verkligen att nu att vi börjar den andra veckan här, att det blir ju bättre. Oj, facet. Ja, men på något sätt känns det okej att vara sjuk just nu, för att jag kände mig innan redan att jag behövde lite mer, att jag behövde vila mig och att jag typ gör det för mycket och min kropp kände inte bra. Så jo, det är ju lite som en tvingad paus som kan i och för sig göra mig väl, även om det känns lite synd om att vara i lägenheten hela dagen och göra precis ingenting. Men jo, jag tror att det är ändå bra att sticka ut på en liten promenad till affären och se dagsljus. Gör det lite bättre, för att jag bor just nu på... Vänta nu, det finns mycket is här. Jag bor just nu på bottenvåningen. Och även om det finns större fönster så är det typ lite mörkt hela dagen. Ja, det var det. Snart hemma. Och jag ska flytta på måndag. Så jag hoppas verkligen att jag känner mig bättre då. För att det ska bli riktigt taskigt om jag måste jobba, alltså om jag måste flytta och känna mig så här. Ugh. Ja, alltså vi hörs. Hejdå. Okay. It's Friday. It's 10 o'clock. It's like 10:15 in the morning. I just got home from the grocery store. That was gonna be my outing for the day, because you know what? I feel like one second, I need to stop moving around so fast. I was out literally walking to the grocery store. It took me, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes, incredibly short walk to the grocery store. But I was walking around like feeling like everything is so unreal, like I'm like watching a video. So that's a pretty good sign that I should not be outside today. I was thinking about going to this cafe that my friend works at to get pupusas for lunch, which, I mean, pupusas have my heart and soul. And, so she's working at the cafe. She was working yesterday and today. So I was gonna go today to get lunch. But it's clear that that is not happening. I just needed to go to the grocery store to get basically toilet paper because we're almost out and I keep blowing my nose. So, yeah, but I got, very excitingly, toilet paper, which is already in the bathroom and I can't be bothered to grab. Kleenex. Some more orange juice, and the sparkling water, another thing of vitamin C tablets, and a thing of garlic, head of garlic. I'm very impressed because yesterday, basically, literally, actually for every single meal yesterday and even for breakfast today, I ate this like everlasting soup that I somehow made out of the pretty limited ingredients that I have here. So it was vegetable bouillon, and then I used some of the spices that are in the pantry. So I put oregano, thyme, whole black peppercorn, and bay leaf. And then I had some kale that I bought at the grocery store right before I got sick, and I had also carrot. So then I just chopped up a bunch of kale and carrot. And I also had bought a packet of spinach and ricotta tortellini. So I put that in the soup and just made this like really brothy tortellini soup. And then I just kept adding more liquid to it and cooking it down and adding more tortellini to it and more kale and more carrot. And then I started adding meatballs. It was actually pretty good. I feel like it's good. And I have some broth, a little bit of broth left, and I have more chutbula, more kale, more carrot. And I just got this garlic, so I'll probably add the garlic to the thing. But yeah, luckily I'm doing pretty okay on food. It's also kind of awkward because I'm like moving to a new apartment on Monday, so I don't want to have too much food to like schlep around with me. And I think I'm gonna be fine. Like, I think I have just enough, but ugh, it sucks to be sick.
Fan vad nice! Jag var precis in på Nordbooks och köpte ett manus till Arthur Millers Death of a Salesman. Och jag snackade lite grann med han som äger butiken. Det var jättefint och vi pratade lite grann om San Francisco för att jag sa att jag bor där för det mesta. Och då när jag gick för att lämna butiken, då sa jag att de hade väldigt många böcker från min kompis Lukas som kör Cobra Press, och han har såna där Rave Flyers böcker, och jag var lite det var lite kul att se någonting från hemma. Fint. Det är ju lördag idag och det snör som ni ser, och det mår bättre idag. Jag känner mig inte så förkyld idag, som är riktigt nice. Återigen kommer jag någonstans där jag känner inte igen mig. Och då börjar jag att gå runt lite grann, och då upptäcker jag, jaha, men jag har varit här förut.
Back in the kitchen. It's going on 6 o'clock, I think, on Saturday evening. I made it out of the house today. Big win for me. I'm feeling mostly better. I say as I cough. I'm feeling mostly better. It's quite cold out today. It's like 26 degrees, which I don't know what that is in Celsius. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. It's -degrees Celsius for sure, or maybe minus 2, -3, something like that. I'm still finding it quite tough to be out and about. Like, I feel fine at first, and then at a certain point I feel like my body just sort of like boop starts feeling bad, and it almost feels like being out is like triggering an anxiety response, or like my body's not like bouncing back easily. It was extremely beautiful out today. Snow was falling. The rooftops on Södermalm were covered in snow, and it just looked like a fairy tale. And then also I was taking the bus down towards Slussen, and just like seeing out over the water towards like Östermalm, Skeppsholm, and all that lovely stuff was very, very beautiful. And then I took myself to St. Paul's bageri on Götgatan and was just cozy in there and did a bit of my reading for class, and then was going through like this notebook that I have and kind of reading some of my notes from the past year, which is really interesting actually. And then I had a lovely little time just kind of like mooching around on Götgatan. I wanted to go, my sort of idea for today was that I wanted to do some reading, and I wanted to go to Nord Books, which I've followed on Instagram for a while now and been looking forward to visiting. And Nord Books is just like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 minutes away from the bakery. But yeah, it was very beautiful at the bakery. I had a cinnamon bun and a tea, and I did my reading and was kind of sketching also, and just looking out the window watching the snow fall. It was extremely beautiful and just like nice to be in the sort of coziness, and just having some like cute little conversations with old ladies and stuff. I love that. It always makes me, I feel like today was really a day where it felt like, some days I feel like I just go through the world purchasing things and having like these really little interactions, and I'm like, why did I spend all this time learning this language to just say like, hey, and kopp te tack, or like whatever, just like ordering stupid simple things or paying for stuff at the grocery store. But today was a day where I really felt like I got good use of my Swedish, because the times that it's always like the most satisfying are when I feel like I'm just able to have these like easy, cute little interactions with people out in the world. And that was, I mean, you know, just being like to some ladies like, oh, I'm like gonna switch tables with those girls once they leave, and like, you're welcome to take this table. And then they're like, oh, amazing, like it's our lucky day, this is the best table in the whole place, you know, just like that sort of stuff I feel like makes everything feels so much nicer and like cozier. And then also it was really nice to chat with the guy at Nord Books. But yeah, so I was at the cafe, and then I just sort of was like popping in and out of stores, just kind of like not even window shopping. I mean, it was inside because it's freaking cold, but just like, you know, mooching around, looking at stuff, and buying more vitamin tablets at Apotek. Today I got myself even more vitamin C. This time is vitamin C and zinc. Oh, apparently this is grape flavor. I did not expect that. And then a D vitamin supplement. Can't hurt. It can definitely hear my throat is kind of getting again. But yeah, was in Apotek, was in Design Torget, a place, you know, all the heavy hitters. And then, oh my god, I was in that amazing vintage store. What the freak is it called? Like Platz Napolitanos. I don't know. It's like, it has an Italian name. I'll put it on the screen. And I was trying on, maybe I'll put some photos in. I was trying on these incredible coats there. So that was very fun, because I was like, oh my god, this is like for heaven. I'm having so much fun just like trying these coats on. And I'm like on a like no buy ban for the next 2 days until I move into my next place. But once I move, I will be back, because those were great. And then it was about time to go home, and I was like, I'm learning to like talk back to the part of myself that's like, oh, I'll just like walk to the bus, or I'll just blah, 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 blah. And like, I always kind of want to like extend my outing. And I think that I'm learning that I need to be a little bit more precious and just kind of go straight to the train, take the train, take the least exposed route home and sort of preempt my body feeling bad rather than staying out until my body really starts to feel bad. And yeah, I think I managed to do that with middling success this time. I don't know, it's an adjustment. I really feel like I've only been here a week and it sort of feels like it's been a fever dream. Like, it kind of feels good and it kind of feels like it's been like bad, and then I feel like I'm dealing with a lot of different sources of anxiety and just like sort of physical and mental stress. And I'm hoping that once I move to this next apartment that I'll be able to kind of release the tension a bit and just settle in a bit more or something. In some ways, I definitely am grateful that I've been sick over the last few days, as I said, because I do think it gave me the opportunity to like really just kind of hunker down and get some rest. But of course, it's not nice to be sick. Yeah. But in other good news, I think I got my first full night's sleep last night. I did not wake up for any extended period of time during the night, which is awesome. And then when I actually woke up, can you imagine this? The sun was already rising. Cheers for me and my vitamin drink. This is vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D, and I am getting so healthy. Actually tastes really good. I like this combination of flavors. Hey, bye.